Caitlin, this is a very first for us. We have never in the history of doing this podcast had a guest come on with us, but trash bags kept asking. They were like, come on, you would love him. I'm like, I do fucking love him, but like, I'm not going to reach out and be like, hey, should we, would you want to come on the podcast? So when we were approached, I had a full-on boner.
The stars aligned.
Stars aligned. I had a full-on boner. I was so excited. Guys, you may follow him on TikTok. He's always talking about his, the mom, and she's always like, oh God, please don't tell your father. You're not going to do it
justice.
I know I'm not going to do it justice, but it does.
If you don't follow him, you should.
You should absolutely follow him.
And our first guest may be the best guest.
It might be our only guest, but that's
I don't think we can follow it up. Like,
No.
I don't think anyone can.
No. It's better to just let it live.
Yeah.
Unlike Puddle Monkey, who feels the need to beat a dead horse.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a one and done thing.
I
Maybe
think
he
so
comes
too.
back. I don't know. But guys, we have someone very special here. I'm super excited. Follow him on TikTok. You know him. He's hilarious. He's about to go out on his first live comedy tour, the Strip Maltese tour. He's got a podcast called the Camp Counselors Podcast. He's beautiful. He's sexy. He's a
hilarious.
Sacred cow. He is Zachariah Porter.
Yay!
How are you today?
I'm so good. Just to preface everybody, I do live in New York, so if you hear sirens going by, it's just a little treat for you guys. I'm sorry that I'm not a little bit more isolated, but I do feel like a sacred cow today, and I just can't believe how many times that was said in the last episode.
Yes.
It was incredible. And I know they didn't even mean it as like a demeaning thing, but to refer to Robyn as the sacred cow, if I was Robyn, like, come on.
I thought to myself, I'm like, listen, I'm on the Ozempic right now, as everyone is.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to refer to me as a cow.
Sacred, yes, but cow, I don't know. And like, I'm desperate for a compliment, but I'm also wildly insecure. So it's like hearing sacred cow, I would just fixate.
Yeah, for
sacred
sure,
minx, maybe, sacred leopard. I would take all of those, but I don't want to be a fucking sacred cow.
Yeah, kitty on the prowl. But yeah, I don't know what animal that I would equate Robyn to be. Like, what does she kind of give to me?
She
Like,
gives
she's kind of
sloth energy.
Sloth energy. She kind of gives like hippo, but like a hippo that's just woke up energy.
Yeah, she's
not
sleeping
like the
behind
wild
the
ones.
eyes.
Yes.
I can't.
Zachariah, before we get into this, I need to know, where do you stand? Like, how do you rank the sister wives? Because I may end this after you answer this question.
Okay, so it constantly changes for me
Okay.
all the time. So let me just talk about where I am right now.
Okay.
Yes, let us know how you feel about the sister wives. Give us your history with them.
Well, yeah, so I've been watching my entire life. I am so obsessed with like the Mormon polygamous culture. I even went to watch like the Big Love Show on HBO. I was like, I need like a dramatized version of this. Like, I'm just so heavy with these girls. But like right now, currently, as we're standing, I think I have to give my top spot to Janelle. She is just the most level-headed center person when it comes to everything. She's not emotional. Christine has always kind of been my number one, but right now she's just getting a little intenser.
Thank you.
I'm glad we can continue this podcast.
Yes, because Janelle's our queen, and I've always loved Christine. And I don't know, like, even when we watched it back a long time ago, I was like, God, Christine's the best. But I don't know if it's I'm getting older and I'm more annoyed, but I'm like, shut the fuck up.
She's obnoxious now.
I hate her at this moment.
Well, she's like regressing, and understandably, to this kind of like very adolescent teenage, like in love, kind of lovey-dovey vibe. And it's a little intense. We'll get into it later, but even with the ring choice, I was like, oh my God. But you know what's funny? I always have a soft spot for Meri in my heart. I just watching her be just abused emotionally season after season. Do you guys remember that one clip? I'm sure you do, where they were like vlogging outside at their like, what was it, like their anniversary date, and they camped on the side of a highway.
Yeah.
Just like, it was like their date for their anniversary is a pit stop at midnight. Yep. Like, she just can never. She honestly, she does hold my favorite moment though, when she presented all the wives with their individual like tree portraits after being caught cheating, and that was
beautiful.
apology. Like that.
She thought that was going to change everything around for the family.
Who got the Whoville one? One of them got like a
Christine, of
yes,
course.
Christine
She's
got
whimsy.
the Whoville one. Yes, very whimsical fairy tale.
So
The problem with Meri is that like
Ace flip-flops on
I
Meri.
flip-flop
and then
on
I
Meri
have
all
to
the
bring him
time.
back down and say, remember how she treated everybody. Remember the kids have come out and said she's abusive. Remember she cheated up to Cody.
There is something like you look at her and you're like, God, you're so sad and pathetic. I feel so bad for you. But at the same time, it's like you're a fucking bitch. And I've always said I wish that Meri would have hired me for her PR, because when the whole catfishing thing had happened, if she said, I felt like I was left, I was neglected, and I sought out a relationship instead of always focusing on being the victim of catfishing, I would have forgiven her. And I think all of America would have backed up
we
Meri.
would have been like, good for you. Like,
But
you're
now
looking
it's
for
like,
dick
fuck
elsewhere.
off.
Cody won't give it to you.
Right.
Who do you think does her PR? It's got to be Jen. It's got to be Jen.
Jen's a one-woman show. She does everything for Meri.
No, Jen's the fucking worst. There's something about Jen. Like, I would put Jen below all of them. Even Cody, even Robyn. She gets under my skin so badly.
Remember in the talkbacks, though?
Oh, that is true. Okay,
She was like getting Meri to spill the tea.
Here's the thing. You need to know this about
Justice
us.
for Jen.
We flip-flop. I mostly flip-flop all the time.
You have
I could
to,
hate
because
someone in a
I
minute
get
and
it.
then the next I love them. So just be
Yeah.
aware.
My dream is to visit the Lizzie Heritage Inn.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, can you imagine sitting there with Jen and Meri in the carriage house? Like, come on. Like, just...
I can't wait to do my TRX in the
Oh, yeah. I hope she invites me for a workout.
I am still trying to visit Salsa Brava as well. Like, the amount of drama that happened in Salsa Brava at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
in Nash, I've had people reach out to me that have been there, and they're like I've literally gotten food poisoning for them, and they love to film there.
Oh, yeah.
We've been to all the places.
So we live
only
2
live
hours away. We live 2 hours away. So
what are
we
your opinions on Salsa Brava?
It's not that great.
No,
Fat
you
olives
usually
either.
walk away with the shits for sure. Fat Olives is decent, you know.
Well, they switched to Josephine's. That's a fancier restaurant. In
We've
town.
never been to
never
Josephine's. We're not fancy people.
We need to reserve the attic.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where they were. I was like, this is, and when they went down the stairs, I'm like, not all like the junk from the restaurant is like piled up in the corner. Like,
Yes, that's where you go if you just want a really intimate, beautiful setting, and it's like two people.
I think they got kicked out of Salsa Brava.
Yeah, we've heard that Salsa Brava is no longer allowing them to film there because they're like, it takes up so much time. We don't make any money.
Well,
like,
they're
it's
like, you're giving us a bad name. All you do is break up with people here.
Can we have a happy moment at Salsa Brava?
over
you know?
fajitas too. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
But okay, we're gonna talk about the episode, but really quickly, I do have to do one. Oh wait, I didn't hear about how you feel about Cody and Robyn.
Cody has been an animal and a fucker the entire time. I don't know if I can swear at this. I'm sorry. Okay, he is just like the worst human being, and it's been very evident to me the entire show, and I think he's getting everything he deserves. This is a hot take on Robyn. Sometimes I feel a little bad for her.
Wow.
I have to be honest because everyone attacks me. Everyone attacks me about this, but sometimes I just feel like she genuinely did buy into this whole thing for the full picture of the family, and she's now stuck with you know what I mean, like
because of her own choices.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if she meant to be the favorite. I think she walked in and she was the hot ticket. Like
sometimes it just happens.
When you got that tight, warm pussy, listen, it's just like that's where it's gonna go, you know. And it's like, sorry.
I also just want to say, all we do is swear and say nasty things on this podcast, so you're free to say anything you want.
No, when she walked in season 1, though, it was like a visible, just like an energy shift. You know what I mean? Between her and the other. Like, yeah, I see how it all went down. The way that Cody is so vocal about the reasons why he married these women, and there's not even like a filter there. That's why I can't even respect him. It's like some things you don't have to share. You don't have to make these women feel so bad about themselves publicly again and again. It's just, he's awful. So he gets.
But is it great TV?
Deserves.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to ask you, have you gone back now watching the current seasons and watched like when Robyn first came and noticed like what's happened to her? She was the hot breath of fresh air, but now she's something's gone wrong.
She's like dead.
She's aged. She's aged so much from the pure stress of everything.
Those sirens, that's them going to pick up Robyn because she's like dying right now. She's literally like She can barely hold on to it.
That scene of her in the hospital when she had COVID.
With her hoodie on.
That Easter.
Okay, last question, because this is Caitlin and I usually agree on everything, but this is the one thing we just cannot see eye to eye on. And before we end the episode, I feel like it's important to know. Okay. Let's say, like, have you seen the movie Sliding Doors?
No.
Oh, I reference it all the time for some reason. I've seen it like twice, but I love it.
Okay.
Well, it's basically like if you miss the doors to the train, your life could be totally different.
So let's say Robyn came into the family, but we didn't have a show, or Robyn never came into the family and we had the show. Do you think the problem was Robyn coming into the family or the show? Caitlin's, or actually you answer and then I'll tell you ours.
I don't think they would have been divorced if Robyn came into the family and there wasn't a show. I always wonder too, being in the public like limelight, like what was their lives before then? They were living in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know if they knew like their self-worth and that like women didn't need to be treated like this. So I think they could have just been like bitter and I don't know, and just been like mad at each other their entire lives and would have stayed together. And I also think if Robyn didn't enter the show, they all would have been together. Robyn
I believe.
Okay, so you think the show?
I believe that the show came in because it's like all the same points that you said. Like, there's no way that these women would have found like that they could have a voice if the show had not given them the platform. I mean, even they haven't found their voice until we're like 16 seasons in. You know, like they finally started to find their voice. But I believe that had Robyn come in and the show not started, they would all still be together. Would they be happy? No, but they would be together.
Agree to disagree. I think it's all her fault.
But Cody's still the same Cody. It's you know what's crazy though? This show was such a sleeper for many years, but they probably were hit by COVID the hardest. You know what I mean? It truly rocked the entire show. And I'm sure you were fans before that anyways, but how many people came on like again to rewatch it during that whole process? Like I don't even know if they would have been broken up had COVID not happened. I think that was such a catalyst for that.
So you think it was COVID?
I do.
COVID took a lot of lives, but here
Robyn
was
did
really...
it. The show did it. COVID did it.
There we go. Yeah, it is so crazy, just like how much it all has changed. Like I
had Cody not got that 99-degree fever.
Oh my God, who knows where we would be? Who knows where we would be? All right, so let's get into season 19, episode 8, A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Here's my favorite part of the opening of the episode. We start with some of the craziest stock footage of Utah. We've got
like
people snowboarding. We've got people like flying through the air, hella snowboarding, like all this crazy shit. And then we end up at Christine's fucking townhome making Japanese sundaes.
Hawaiian haystacks.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm horrible at geography, but I'm pretty sure that Japanese haystacks would not be the same thing as or Japanese sundaes would be a Hawaiian haystack. Those seem like different cultures to me. I'm confused.
It was almost inappropriate too. I was like, what are you talking about? And then she's like, and the worst part is, don't put pineapple on it. Yuck. I'm like, there's a lot more going on.
I needed to know so much more about the Hawaiian haystack.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to get eyes on it. I'm like, can I see what it looks like?
When we had to
Peyton
explain...
had a plate like piled up this. Like,
oh, yeah.
Giant.
Peyton's plate was full. And well, I want this to be clear to you. There is one Brown that I hate McKelty the most, but my second runner-up is Peyton Brown. And to know that man brought his own fucking chopsticks to this dinner because nobody else had a chopstick. I imagine he walks around with a pocket knife, chopsticks, and like travel lube.
Well, he does like lube. He's said that on his TikTok.
So,
Peyton has an identity crisis in the family. I wonder if it's the age because he's not considered in that core older 6.
Right.
But is he the 7th? Because I feel like I don't know where he fits, and I feel like he doesn't ever know where he fits.
No, and he doesn't fit anywhere because he's like 6'7".
Yeah, he's so fucking tall. He's so fucking tall.
He would though eat with chopsticks. That's like such a Cody behavior.
So the Japanese sundaes, Hawaiian haystacks, that happens at 3:30 p.m. And I'm fixated on the fact that they're eating dinner at 3:30 p.m. Like, does she need to digest before her and David can fuck that night or what? Like 3:30 p.m. seems like a lot. Like that's early as fuck to be eating out.
Yeah. Do you guys think they're fucking at this point?
Oh, Listen,
Yes.
when Tony said after date 3 is when you start fucking, Christine did that awful like bite her lip and she's like, yeah, they're fucking.
And later on, David's like, when we were laying on the floor, and I was like, I could just marry you right now. I was like, why are you laying on the floor? Like they couldn't even get to the bed.
Nope. Right there on the floor.
Her open mouth kisses are getting crazier at the doorways. I'm
you
like,
know,
chill.
I've always, I've been a porn connoisseur over my life, and I'm like, this is something to me that I literally feel my wiener go inside myself. Like I can't watch it. It's disgusting. It really is.
And her poor kids. She's like, I don't care. Watch me do it. I'm like, please, no one wants to watch. Like
what? Like this is my favorite thing about these brown children. McKelty's like, we're super crazy, and then David walks in, and Peyton's like, hello, Richard. What the fuck? Like. Why? That wasn't funny. And he's like, what's that from? And he's like, I don't know.
I thought that was funny because David was like, oh, is it a joke? Like, what movie are we talking about? I'm like, Peyton, shut the fuck up. Annoying. It was such a weird thing to say too. And then truly it's like thrashing on the couch. She is in full panic about this relationship. And it honestly is hard to watch. Like,
oh, she's scared. And then McKelty's like, we're all super quick-witted.
I feel like this showed that like Christine's kids are the most annoying.
Oh, for sure.
It was like, oh, they're all immature, just like their mom.
And it's like, I need to look back on my choices. And when I said Christine was my favorite, I mean, her kids are always been the most annoying. It's like, what kind of mothering did you do? What kind of mothering did you do? Because it didn't seem like it was great, because
I have to be honest. My favorite brown child is Aspen.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, well, yes. Besides Aspen.
But Aspen raised these kids. Maybe that's the problem. Aspen was a 12-year-old raising these kids.
That is the issue.
And so that's why they've all done it. Christine and David don't fart or poop in front of each other. And when Tony was like, you don't, I'm like, Tony, we know you do. Tony picked McKelty up for that first date in the Honda Fit. She got in, he was immediately like, hey, what's up? Like, he just has a constant fart aura about him.
Oh my God, that house has a fart aura. They're just wearing fedoras like 24/7. Tony is like the craziest person to ever be on any show ever. Like, he is so dynamic in the weirdest way. And as he gets older, I find myself agreeing with him more and more sometimes. And I'm like, who is this guy?
He's got a lot of animosity towards the family.
He has a lot to say.
He's like, I think this seems kind of fast. Did you get her dad's permission? When I did it. And I was like, Tony, honestly, though, like, if you came to me and were like, can I please have your daughter's hand in marriage? I would say absolutely the fuck not. I'm sorry, but no,
They did say that.
They basically did.
They basically said no, Tony. And he's like, I don't care.
But David does text Christine sometimes while he's pooping.
That whole conversation is so gross just because Christine's like biting her lip again during it. I'm like, can you stop? Like, we're talking about David texting you while
I
he's
am
pooping.
such a visual person, so it's immediately I'm picturing David on the toilet taking
with
a
squatty
shit.
potty.
Yes. Oh, I saw a squatty potty as well. Absolutely. And it's just like that turd's hanging halfway out, and he's just like, hey, baby, I miss you so much. It's disgusting.
Oh, yeah. He's really getting involved, though. I do like that he already seems media trained, which is crazy. Like, he seems very comfortable on the camera for just being thrown in there. And he's really trying with the kids.
Yes,
I do like David. I just think he's just kind of a boring, simple man, but I think he's good for all of them. I mean, his vocabulary could use a few more words.
Of his media training, it was a little wild this episode when we got captions for him, and I was like, oh, well, I don't think we need captions, but he was like, and I was like, what the fuck?
It's pretty cool.
I'm pretty cool. I like her pretty cool. I'm like, God,
that actually sounds exactly like him too.
How do you feel about, second date, grown adult, straight couple going to see The Little Mermaid?
Oh my God, I'm so happy you brought this up because when I heard her say that, I was like, oh, this just tracks completely. That's so her.
Yeah.
She just has this like, I don't know. Her childhood must have been very like damaged. She's cycling back in a really weird way. And I don't think that's David. You know what I mean? I think
David's an adult.
Yeah, but I think he just kind of like indulges her because I think he really does like her. I think it's a weird second date for anybody. But when you say Christine in the sentence, I'm like, okay, well, I get it, you know?
Right. It reminds me so much like when she was like they were doing Kiss the Girl and she thought he was gonna lean over and like go on and kiss the girl, you know, like he's gonna lean over, and I'm like, to me, this mindset, this brings me back to Gypsy Rose's date with her boyfriend at the movie theater. Like,
you're sick.
That's the maturity level that we're at, and I'm like, come on, Christine, like how are you so dumb?
Yeah, no, she is. And then she's like 6 weeks later, here we are, venues.
Oh,
it's like the speed is insane. It's insane.
I also love too that Christine's like, I really don't give a fuck what my kids think, because Peyton's like, yeah, so you know, listen, do I approve? Absolutely, but you know, would it matter if I didn't, Mom? Would it even matter?
And David's like, nope.
No.
Right away, David.
No one gives a fuck.
She's like, nope. And next you're gonna watch us make out without our clothes on the couch. Like,
yeah,
she's taking it so far.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
but she doesn't give a fuck what her kids think. And I honestly, here's the thing. If Peyton asked me that too, and I looked down and I saw him with his own fucking chopsticks, yes, I wouldn't care what you had to say either, because you're a giant red flag. But, you know, I would think maybe if Aspen said something, that might be,
well, you know,
pause.
Jezebel is also the other kid that I like.
Yes.
We only refer to her as Jezebel.
Jezebel. Honestly, I love Jezebel though. She's like an Aspen for me. Like she's very level-headed.
Yes.
She's trying to be so polite. And then there's Mykelti at the end of the table. Like Archer's just like splattered over the table. I'm like, put the baby in a chair.
Avalon at one point was doing like a full, like, I mean, it was like a bachelor party. She was up on the table, just dancing, shaking around. I'm like, first of all, she's on a card table, and Avalon, Toyota Avalon can kick some ass. So like, I'm stressed that the table's not going to support her. You know, one body slam down and that table's a goner.
I feel like Mykelti's house is like feral all the time.
Oh,
yeah,
not that ours isn't, but
yeah, no, I mean, even just trying to handle Tony is a situation in its own, you know? Do you ever think about Mykelti and Tony having sex?
I'm thinking about it right now and I'm intrigued.
Yes,
actually, it's animalistic, it's furry. But I'm not a Mykelti denier, okay? Mykelti is the only, like one of the only children doing interviews right now.
Right.
She's still clocked in. Everyone else is like, Gwendolyn's on like Instagram Live, like shitting on the whole show. So it's like, we need Mykelti here. So yeah. I think the thing
with Mykelti, I have such a problem with her because I am Mykelti. Like, she's so desperate for screen time, and it's like that would be me in the family. Like, the amount of times that we've had to revolve around Mykelti's storyline and babies coming out of her vagina is disgusting. But
she's
also
the only person that signs up to be like, I'll give birth on the floor on TV for no money. She doesn't get paid anything, I don't think.
No, she definitely doesn't. Absolutely not.
I also about lost my Japanese Sunday when Christine was like, let's blend these flavors. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
And there's also, it's like beyond just like the children being in the room, like there's just no care of the camera crew. You know what I mean?
No.
They're desensitized by it completely.
Well, you know what? I'm curious about this camera crew because when we were at Josephine's, I was like, when did Michael J. Fox turn into a fucking cameraman? Because I was getting seasick at Josephine's. That camera did not stop shaking. And I always wonder,
they
like,
don't have the budget for a stabilizer.
I feel like they literally go on Craigslist and are like, hey, can you hold the camera? Come work on Sister Wives.
Oh my God, but I've never seen a show ever on TV that does more self-filming of themselves. It's like Janelle driving cross country with an iPhone. Like it's like their iPhones. They're like, you have to film half the show for us. Like
poor crazy. Meri. Like Meri never gets a crew. Meri always just has to do her
Meri
iPhone.
Is the crew.
Yeah, Jen is the crew.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jen is the crew.
Yeah, no, Meri never gets a fucking crew.
Jen works for free.
What's going on at Meri's house? She's always like crying and sweeping the leaves. It's like, Meri, stop shoveling.
I thought it was so sad though when Aspen was like, you know, I saw my mom and dad one time dance in the kitchen in Vegas, and that's like the extent of the PDA she saw.
And you know it was one time.
One time.
Yeah.
One time I saw them dancing in the kitchen.
I do feel like in the earlier seasons, there was PDA with Meri always. I feel like he was always like comfortable with Meri, but never Christine and Janelle. It's like, no, they never touched each other once. But like Christine was begging for it, and she was not getting it. So
But also it's like, are you desperate?
See,
you know?
And this is why we always say like Kody is rewriting history because he did like Meri. Like you watch those old seasons and you're like, you were into Meri. Like, yes, Robyn came in and she was hotter, but like Meri was number one girl for a long time.
There's
now he's like, I
episode
never loved her.
You need to go back to when Kody and Meri go to Cancun. And now I know that you are a gay man, but Mary's fucking tits when she's rappelling down into this cavern.
The cameramen are just over her.
I was like,
look down her shirt.
Put a bag over her face and I would fucking go to town on those things. Listen, and I'm not proud to say that, but they are a good set of jugs.
Jesus. Yeah, Mary's had a lot of just physical changes. I love her right now. She's almost giving like porcupine. Like,
yes,
she's funky right now.
Crispy porcupine.
Yeah, and her bomber jackets.
She loves a soft blazer.
She's nuts right now. I'm obsessed with her. She's driving this season for me right now, honestly. We're in that carriage.
I love
when she shows up, which is not much.
Not often, yeah. I love when Janelle shades Kody because she's talking about Dave and she's like, I approve. I haven't even met the guy. I saw one picture of him, but I approve of him. She's like, because he's got 8 kids that he essentially had to raise alone after his wife died, and they all still have a relationship with him. I was like, oh shit. Shots
the
fired.
Bare minimum, you know what I mean? Like that's all you need for Janelle. Just respect my children, and she's happy to go. Like, come on.
But that family picture. Now, last episode, we saw the family picture, but I got fixated on one of his sons whose face was blurred because you can tell he's wearing sunglasses. And then I went down a rabbit hole, went to his Facebook. He wears sunglasses in every picture. But I forgot, I didn't notice at the time that David is just sitting spread eagle in a plastic chair.
Yeah.
And I was just like very like sexual. I was very.
It looked like it'd be in like a high school jazz routine.
Yes.
Like where they have the top hat.
5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go, ladies. Yes. It was very, very sassy. And I liked it.
I like that the show revolves so much about showing the same 10 pictures of the family cycling. And now with David's blurred family picture, we've added an 11th photo that we can use.
Yes.
So I can't wait to see it every episode for the next 5 years. It's going to be
great.
We love that. And we also love to show Christine in her horrible wedding dress with Kody.
Which is the best. It is the most gorgeous dress.
It's like a found footage horror movie. She's like, it's like a tarp.
I think that I'm pretty sure it's vintage Vera Wang. But I love that this time I think we got, I don't know if it was a different picture. We just zoomed out of the crop where she had her ankle showing. And I was like, girl, don't tempt me with a good time.
I feel like camera crew must hate Christine because they show that every single time. Actually, I have a problem. I need to know more about production because they must hate Christine and Janelle because the footage they give them, like the old footage, is terrible. But I can't imagine they're mean.
No, Janelle always is getting that scene of Janelle walking those fucking dogs, Francine and Maxine. It's
the
like,
one is dead, like has been dead
for
a while.
years now. But they're like, roll that footage of Janelle walking the dogs again. And it's like, it's the worst shot of her out. Like she's got her tongue out, nothing's fitting right, and they're like, roll it again. Every episode, put it fucking in there.
By the way, I think it was maybe last week or the week before. I needed to know if Francine or Maxine was still with us.
Yes.
We've got proof of life. Bryn is still with us.
Bryn is the dog's name.
Bryn is still.
I'm happy to know
she's
that.
still here.
Good to know. She's in bed with Janelle as we speak.
Yeah.
They're sipping
coffee.
She is.
I love when Cody's like, the really good thing is like right now I'm able to see Christine and I's relationship through like the fun side. I can remember our memories. And then right after he goes, I mean, we can't be friends though because everything she did was an absolute betrayal. Oh my God. Like what was such a betrayal that she has done?
She left him first. He doesn't like that she started the whole thing.
Yeah.
Our first interaction with Christine is her basically saying to Kody, hey, like season 1, episode 1, we see Christine, she smiles, and then she's basically like, hey, I don't think we should expand the family. And she has stood by that forever. And it's just like, he's like, okay, yeah, Christine, you silly girl, shut up. He doesn't give a fuck about her.
It's like, why do you have an issue with Robyn? It's like, she's been telling you since the beginning she did.
Yeah. So you should have maybe fucking listened.
Do you think it was Robyn or do you think it was a fourth wife? Was her issue in general?
I think it was a fourth wife because I think she thought it's same thing. Where are you at with your siblings? Like, where are you in the order?
Oh, I'm youngest.
See, and can you imagine you hit like 10 years old And I'm the youngest as well. And the youngest is 6. Imagine your parents coming to you and being like, hey, we're having another baby.
Yeah, but that's different because she as an adult signed up for like group sex at this point. I mean, like, so like she should expect like there might be another. That's a little different. So that's why I was always like you. And then she came from polygamy. But yeah, no, I always thought that was weird because yeah, she's always been very vocal about not wanting more. She's stuck to her guns.
Yeah, I honestly, I relate to Christine on this because if my parents had come, I would have.
Well, and I think she thought they were done. Like, I think Kody was like, that's all we need. And then he's like, surprise, someone younger, hotter. I do think if Robyn had been as hot as she was, it might have been better.
Yeah.
There's nothing more uncomfortable than when we were in high school and someone would be like, oh, my mom just had another baby. I'm like, what the fuck is your mom doing? Like, God, close your legs to married men. Goodness. How do you feel about David and Christine's matching tattoos that we now know they have? Because this episode was shot maybe like 7-8 years ago at this point. We're so fucking behind the times. But they get that beautiful
she's got it right above her boob.
Yes.
What is it? What is the sign of it? What is it supposed
Celtic
to be?
A symbol.
Something for
God.
Irish.
Clattering or whatever it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Chest this time. No, it's fine. I think it's crazy. I also think every time she has a public appearance now, she's got to do a side strap. She's got to show it off.
Always.
Yeah, I don't.
She loves a
love
toga fit now.
We're done with the one shoulder top, Christine.
We're so over because when she first did it, I was like, "This is insane." I'm obsessed with this. She's like spicy and funky, but it's like you said though. I think just because we're so behind, everything we're seeing is against our will, and we're just like, "Let's catch it up." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't care about their tattoos. Also, what a freak behavior to get tattoos with someone 6 weeks after meeting them. Like. She's just being weird right now.
Do you think that's weirder than booking the wedding venue?
Before you're engaged?
Before your kids have even met him?
Yeah.
Wait, where is it at? What's the place?
Moab.
She's like, Moab booked out really early, so doesn't matter. I'm like, you're being crazy right now.
Moab is the hot spot this year, guys. You got to jump on it while you can. I'm like, God, Moab is honestly like, I've been to Moab and I've been there around the time that Christine got married. It's not a beautiful place. It's so fucking ugly.
Oh, people are gonna come for you.
They come
people
for me, but
Moab.
it's so like, it's just like there's nothing to do. There's a McDonald's, you know, like what else do you do in Moab? Go to the Red Rocks. It's not that exciting. No.
Yeah.
But I think we have offered so much that like I would love for my wife to help Christine with her styling because it's bad.
Well,
It's
and
really
at this
bad.
point, like you said, we're so far behind that it's all against our will. It's like now we've seen her in a one shoulder top like 10 times since this aired.
Yeah.
With the tattoo. It's like enough with it.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I think they all need styling except Meri. Don't ever change my queen, okay?
No,
She
she rocks LuLaRoe. She rocks a LuLaRoe like no one else. Her hoodie this week was like, bold choices make good stories. That bitch loves a fucking quote.
She loves a graphic tee.
If they don't want you at their table, build your own. Wow,
But
Meri,
squat
thank you.
next to the table. It's like, oh my God, give him a chair, Meri.
There's no room in the carriage house for a chair. She wanted that fucking island, and there's no room to do any other activities now.
I know. The island was a weird choice for sure.
Oh. All right, let's go over to Kody and Robyn's house where Kody is celebrating his 55th birthday in the most beautiful way possible, self-filming a confessional. Just having a great time. And I love that he was like, 5 years ago, I sat down and I asked myself at my 50th birthday, what do I want my next 50 years to look like? I'm like, and this is what you came up with? You want your whole family to fall apart? You want all your wives to leave you?
And your kids to hate you?
Nobody fucking likes you, Kody.
Yeah, he was choked up too when he made that like connection in his head. I'm like, yeah, 5 years ago, everything changed.
Yeah.
It's rough for Kody right now.
He was like, I'm going to change my life. I'm like, you did. You did. It was just not for the better.
Okay, hot take.
Yeah.
I felt a little bad for him in this
Oh,
moment.
Caitlin.
I know,
Stop it.
I know. I hate Kody. But I was like, I feel like he finally clicked for a minute where he was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
What's happened? I feel like it's taken him this long to realize. But then I know this was 2 years ago and he still doesn't talk to the kids. So
Right.
He forgot about it after this.
He's still like, fuck those kids.
Yeah.
They don't respect me. They don't have loyalty. They are betraying me. They do the gossip.
The rumor
Can
mill.
I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I heard, and if you can confirm this, does McKelty not talk to Kody and Robyn anymore?
So they had a falling out, something to do with Garrison's funeral.
She commented someone and said like, yeah, like me and Robyn aren't close anymore or something. But then she tried to like cover it up later and be like, well, no, it's just like we don't. So I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
She said something happened at the funeral that made her.
I honestly feel like
Robyn.
Mykelti's so desperate for someone to like her that she's like, all right, I'll go back to Kody and Robyn. Cause like, and here's the thing, Kody and Robyn don't like Mykelti, but they're like, you're the only fucking loser who's last to pick for kickball. Come on, come to our team.
Oh. Well, I just think if she's no longer talking to them at this point, it's a choice on them. You know what I mean? There's that's the proof in the pudding, you know?
Right.
If you can't hold a relationship with Mykelti now, who's like would fight for you when she doesn't need to be, then Kody, what can you do? Don't worry.
I loved the B-roll footage of Kody just raking snow and building a fire out on Coyote Pass. Because as people who have been to Coyote Pass, where he's at, there's not like you would think like, oh, he's raking the snow to make a path. Like he went out there with the only intention of raking snow and poking that fire so they had some sort of B-roll footage. And I'm like, why the fuck are we doing this?
And it's not like people were going to come over for the fire.
No!
Like, there was no purpose. And I've never seen anyone rake snow. I don't live where it snows, so I don't know. But that didn't seem like...
Do you rake snow?
Normal.
Never rake snow, but I think like you said, I think he just wanted B-roll. And they need it. They actually need the B-roll. So
it's insane. This show is built on number 1, confessionals. Number 2, B-roll. Number 3, flashbacks. Number 4, new interactions.
Number 5,
one time,
family photos.
Oh, no. Number 4, family photos. Number 5, new interactions. I one time went through and I timed it. We had 8 minutes of new conversations in the episode. That was it.
Yeah.
There's nothing fucking going on here.
But we have to keep going. Like we're just too deep in this lore to give up. So we stick it out and we just bitch the entire time and we come back every Sunday.
It's so hard because like people ask us like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, we podcast. I'm like, what about? I'm like, Sister Wives. They're like, oh, I've never watched it. Should I watch it? I'm like, no. Absolutely not. Don't get into this.
You're way too far behind.
Don't, because you're gonna watch the first 16 seasons and be like, I don't get it. Like what? And it's like we don't either. We have watched paint dry, but now we are finally getting the dividends off of our investments. God damn it!
Exactly that.
And it pisses me off when I see people just now jumping in. I'm like, you didn't do the work. You didn't do the fucking work, okay? Caitlin and I, we were in college. We went to Las Vegas, and our first stop was the cul-de-sac. Like, that's where we were going. Because we were like, God, we just have to
stand in the middle and take a deep breath and just feel all the energy. Were they living there at the time? Or were they already,
yeah. This was like back in like...
We saw like Aspen driving the gate or something. It was so long
This was
ago.
like 2014. And we were just like, we're in Vegas. I'm 24 years old. What do you want to do? I'm like, I want to go to the brown cul-de-sac.
Oh, God.
That's what I want to do.
When I was in Vegas, I wanted to go. And I didn't get it. I didn't have a car. I was going to go Uber over there to find the cul-de-sac. But I did find out that it was 3 miles away. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
Your Uber driver's like, what are you doing here? You're like, just let me get out really quick and take a deep breath in the middle. Okay.
I bring Christmas lights. I start to string them between the houses.
Yes. All right, let's go over to AAA Jewelers, where we are ring shopping with Christine and David, who are still not yet engaged, but we have a wedding venue. We've got now looking for rings.
When David said, like, I think it's time to go jewelry shopping, then he's like, for a ring. She's like, oh, what? I'm like, you already have your venue booked. Like, why are you surprised you're going to get a ring now?
She loves to be surprised. She said, she sat there and was like, I don't love to be surprised. And I'm like, bitch, you liar. You love a surprise. There's nothing Christine loves more than a surprise.
Why is she pretending that conversation wasn't about the ring? She's like, jewelry, like jewelry shopping, the ring. Oh, the ring. It was like, this is the stuff we don't need from you, Christine. Like, just be real for a minute now.
Be real with us, Christine. Be real. All right. Lisa, the sales associate at AAA Jewelers. Now, Caitlin said... She said what I said was mean. But then she said she looks like she came straight out of a coffin. But I think she looks like, did you watch the chimp documentary? What was it called? Chimp Crazy?
Chimp Crazy. Latanya.
You know that woman who got her face ripped off by the chimp? Oh, and then they tried to put her face back together. I thought that's kind of who Lisa was resembling.
See, that's too far.
Maybe.
Leave Lisa out of this, okay? She's a lovely lady. and I'm looking to buy a 3-metaled engagement ring for myself. Okay.
And here's the thing: when you got Lisa sitting there telling you that idea is really cool,
Lisa wanted to make a sale. She works off commission.
Lisa's the kind of gal who says something is sharp. Oh, that's sharp. Oh, that's sharp. I love that. Like, I don't trust you then. You know, Lisa, I don't want to look to you for advice, but Christine builds the ugliest fucking ring I've ever seen in my entire life.
I love that she's like, I didn't think I was edgy, but maybe I am edgy. I was like, maybe you just don't know what like looks good, because this is the most hideous ring I've ever seen in my life.
Maybe you just have the worst taste I've ever fucking seen.
I don't think it's edgy. I think it's ugly.
What was the cut of the ring?
Marquee. Yes.
The marquee
Cut to Meri, who's like, I hate marquee.
When production caught that, they said, we got it. Did they make her say that? Oh my God, I gasped. That was my favorite part of the episode, I swear to God. I hate marquee.
And also, don't forget, we know Meri hates a circle. She cannot do a circle. When we were doing the Extreme Makeover Home Edition carriage house, it was like, I don't want to see a circle anywhere.
No, or a white countertop.
No. Oh, God, I couldn't imagine. So David, this is where he starts talking about them being on the floor that night, and with captions, he says, you know, I'm like, you guys were absolutely going to. Here's the thing. I feel like Truly was home, okay, and they were like, we want to fuck in the kitchen, but we don't want her to catch us, so let's do it on the floor, in case she comes down to get a midnight snack.
Yeah, and I promise you this, Truly is a midnight snacker. She's got blue lips. She's got Fun Dip in her mouth, and she's just climbing on the fucking walls.
I think that Truly
stays up all hours of the night. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
Truly's going out at 2 a.m. Like, she leaves the house 2 a.m. and you don't even know what she's doing.
She just like walks the streets in her trench coat.
She just lurks. We know she's not on a bicycle, but you know, she out there. One.
She tattooed Christine and David. It was her. She's got her. Truly said to sit down. I got you.
Oh, I hope I get married to, I hope I get to go to Janelle's all jean wedding up on the mountaintop.
I was like, Janelle, you're gonna be in a white capri, not a jean.
I know. I'm like, Janelle, you love a white capri. You're not gonna be in a jean. Come on.
Oh, she's just so cool and casual. You know what I mean? She doesn't need the frills of life. She needs her dogs and an RV and an open lot, and she's fine.
She's like, just a simple gold band, and just, I want to be on top of a mountain. I'm like, we've seen you climb mountains.
Yeah, we've seen you climb a couple mountains, Janelle. Here's the thing about Janelle. We have two different ideas
she brings
about
Sean
her.
Huddleston in to get her to the top.
Oh, please do, Janelle. She is either asexual or she is the most sexual, because Cody's like, yeah, she only likes me for my 6-pack abs. I'm like, is Janelle a freak, or does Janelle not want to be touched? I don't know.
Let's talk about that for a minute, because you're right. Because she gives off real asexual vibes, but he always references that specifically to her.
Yeah.
And she's got some kids. I kind of hope she's a freak, but I don't think it. I don't think she'll ever remarry. I don't think she'll ever date again. I think she's really content being grandma.
Do you think that she'll masturbate moving forward?
I think we all should. I hope she does.
I don't know. It's like, is it too much work?
It's kind of a lot of energy.
Yeah.
What if is it Plexus? Plexus starts selling vibrators. You're like, reaching out.
Janelle gets her first vibrator ad on Instagram.
Oh my God, I would die. I've never been fulfilled in my life, but now I am.
She's like, you don't need a piece of meat and a 6-pack ab. You got this. Honestly, I think someone should reach out.
She puts a little she puts her little blonde extension ponytail on it, so it's like still has some hair, and she's like, "Oh, Cody."
Oh God.
Speaking of plexus, you know, McKelty loves to say that she got skinny from plexus, and I'm like, bitch, just say it was the Ozempic. Just say it. We're all doing it. You know, I'm on it. Why not?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she does look. You know what? She looks so much like Christine now.
I think she looks like Aspen.
Her and Aspen and Christine are like identical now.
It's weird.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I always keep one eye on Aspen, because I can tell she's got that eye that kind of hangs out to the side, and I'm like, okay, that's Aspen. You know, McKelty's the one with the bad roots.
Yeah, that's so true.
I also wanted Aspen to not wear the hot pink in her confessional, though. I love her, but I think that wasn't her color.
Not her color.
No.
Yeah, she's like,
pink is a tough color.
Girl.
I think they all need to get their colors done. I was thinking about that.
Yes.
Like, I don't know that Robyn's color is purple, but
Robyn's blouse this episode when she said,
I feel like she's wearing the wrong color for her. She might be more of like, she likes a deep winter, and I think she might not be.
No, she's not. I feel like Robyn needs to be in like brown or something. But when we see Robyn in her new testimonial blouse,
the dark plum,
and she's also got like a witchy necklace on, and then she's like, nah, they're all acting like I've got to cast a spell on him or something. I'm like, she cast spells on him. Absolutely. In that moment, I knew that she was a goddamn witch. Fucking burn her down. She was a witch. Absolutely.
I needed more of her this episode. We didn't get a lot of her right now.
No, her eyebrows though are really they're getting worse and worse. I thought they were getting better, but they're worse now.
She's got to keep them up so she looks friendly,
I guess. Yeah. All right. Ty Pennington, aka Blair, he is here to do Meri's Extreme Makeover Home Edition, Carriage House Edition. And wow.
And don't forget, it's the boutique, workspace,
gym.
All of the above. And if we go there, can we go in the dressing room?
Oh,
yes.
I gotta use that little slide curtain that didn't actually cover one body. It was
right.
Like shifting back and forth.
And I love too that I was like, okay, Blair, who's just, a fashionista in the design world. Those are from fucking Ross, those curtains. Okay. You didn't even go to Target for those. Those are Ross. I know it. And the reveal of this place when Meri was like, oh my God, this is the most amazing transformation. I'm like, Blair went to he used his 5% discount at Cost Plus World Market. But it was clearance because all this shit is from like 5 years ago.
I didn't love the faux brick.
The faux brick was tough.
What did you think of the room?
What did you think of the panda picture on the wall? Did you catch that in the corner?
Yeah,
we got panda eating bamboo. I'm like, what does this have to do with anything?
Because on her lives, where she's selling her LuLaRoe, you comment panda
to wake up the system.
Oh,
she
my God.
loves pandas.
Comment panda.
Honestly, in today's day and age,
have you ever watched one of her lives?
I've only seen like clips of it on TikTok when she's just shouting at people.
Yes.
She's like, comment panda. We don't have a large.
I already said there's no 6L in this. All right.
You're blocked.
You're blocked. All right. You're done. All right. If anyone
Jen,
wants
the moderator,
comment panda to wake up the system.
I would love for you to do a reenactment, kind of a character based on Meri doing her LuLaRoe.
You would be so good at that.
Yeah, I love when she yells at people when they're like, it's too expensive. She's like, no one said you had to pay for it.
Yeah. Then don't buy it.
I do think it's a good set, though, if she's in front of that for the lives. I thought that part was successful in its like attempt at whatever this carriage house is. The island is the most absurd size for that space.
Yes.
I'm still not sure what it's for, but she
can lay her products on it.
Yeah, I guess, but it's still even bigger than
Zachariah. How dare you? This is her table. This is her table. Come sit at her table with her. That's what it's for. It's for her to have her friends over.
Yeah, with the one chair in the room. Everybody else just kind of lean, I guess.
I love the
shaking and crying.
The desk just kind of like pushed off into the corner that was very small. I'm like, this is also, I mean, listen, you are a gay man, part of the gay community. Do you accept Blair into your community because he is a gay wearing transition lenses? And I thought, excuse me, you don't belong here. See yourself out.
I don't know what's going on in Parowan, and I got to get boots on the ground there. And I got to see what the culture is and what the community is, because he might be the leader there.
But Blair lives in Oregon. He comes into Parowan.
He flew in for this.
He's crossing borders for interior design.
Yes.
Looks like that. It's steampunk. It's exposed pipes. It's exactly everything Meri dreamed of. I think it's heinous, but I love it because if it was chic, it wouldn't have been fun. Like,
no, that's true.
Like this. I needed it to look like this.
It needed to be steampunk because steampunk was out like 10 years ago.
Yes, and that's what makes it beautiful.
Meri kind of like lives in that like back 10 years.
Well, that's when she was last happy.
Yeah.
When she was talking to Samuel Jacob Cooper. Her
steampunk was big around that time.
That's when she was happiest in her life. So she's like, I'm just still trying to hold on to that. Also, I think in today's day and age, to be so obsessed with pandas is a little like, listen,
She better be
all of
careful.
people are coming for Hollywood and the pandas. You know, they're like, oh, all these people, they love pandas. They eat children. And I'm like, Meri, I think it's time to move away from pandas. You know, like
she'll find out 10 years from now. She'll be like,
Yes.
oh shit, we shouldn't do panda.
Did you tear up when we saw Bonnie's bear up there in the corner?
I had a soft spot for Bonnie. I really liked Bonnie, and
Yes.
I liked the moms. The moms, a lot of them have passed away at this point, but like
Not
that
Alice.
that was when the show was great. Like I have such a fond memory of the show being wholesome and really fun, and now it's just also dark and heavy. So I thought it was a nice touch. And I did get a little like, oh, because it's like I have a soft spot for Meri, even though she's clearly a wicked woman for the other wives. But I thought it was a nice touch.
I always had a soft spot on my head for Bonnie. You know, I always thought like Bonnie was kind of
Bonnie's hairline out. Don't you dare. Alopecia affects 40% of women in this country. Don't you dare do that to Bonnie. God rest her soul. She's living in the grave.
Oh,
What did we think about the gym?
okay.
I
First of
thought
all,
it was strange because I feel like Meri films her entire life and I've never seen her working out.
never.
Oh, she is a lifter. You didn't hear that? She's like, this is perfect for my weights. I'm like, the ceiling is like this. Okay? What can you do with it? She's like, puts her arm out. She's gonna hurt herself.
She basically
You know
whacks
that?
her head going up the stairs. She has to walk up the stairs
She does.
sideways.
She does. She hits it at the top.
And then it just proved to me that she doesn't work out when her or Blair, when they both did a squat and it was not a squat.
You know what I loved is the workout up on the board. So I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Squats 4 sets of 8.
Mhm.
Bench
Okay.
press 4 sets of 8. Calf raises 4 sets of 8. Sit-ups 4 sets of 8. Push-ups 4 sets of 8. And then get strong at the end is just like a motivational speech. But I was
gonna
looking
be part
around
of her
the
new
room.
like Worthy Up. She's gonna host Worthy Up workout classes.
Oh, I could
Trust
see
me.
that.
I'm putting my
I-
bet on it now.
She's also on the Ozempic now, but I looked around that room. She had a bunch of kettlebells, and then she had a couple, like 3 sets of dumbbells, and there was no way they were over 7.5 pounds. And she's like, I like to do strength training.
Maybe she's more of a Pilates girl.
No, she said strength training. She's a
She
lifter.
said strength training. She said, yeah,
She
weight.
she goes up there, she puts on that Trunchbull belt, you know, and then she just lifts those 7.5 pounds. She benches those 7.5 pounds. She's like, oh God, I'm
Also,
breaking
did
a
we
sweat.
see the stationary bike up there? No, we didn't. So
No,
now she's
she
got 2
mentioned it, but I
gyms?
never saw it.
No, but we
Yeah,
did
what's-
get 3 yoga mats laid out, and I was like,
Yeah.
sorry,
Worthy Up workout class.
but one wide ass is gonna fit there. We can't fit 3 wide asses there. I'm sorry, but it's not gonna fit.
No, that felt like very much like design TV show Unveil, where it's like, look what we can do with this space. It's like, but it's not what we're gonna do with this space. She's putting in the stripper pole. She said that's what.
Yeah,
she's
it's
doing
like
with the space.
when
That
you
would have been a better use of her like resources.
when you
Stripper
go
pole.
look at a model home and
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah,
but it's like
yeah.
this is going to a model home, but it's like a real shitty one. Like this is not like one of the nice ones. It's like, oh, this gym looks.
It feels
nice.
too real, you know?
Yeah.
You like to go to the ones that are out of your budget. This one
Oh.
felt like you could afford it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't want to.
totally.
I don't want to do that. But she does plan on doing some pole dancing up there,
Mhm.
and that was a visual I didn't know I needed, but I did. Just watching her wrap those low row leggings around a pole and just whipping around.
She's gonna be slick.
Yeah.
The thing is with Meri, I know she's a freak. I can see it. I understand it. Like she is a minx. She's a vixen in the bedroom.
Yes.
So I know that she would work a pole to the best of her ability. Is it gonna be
We-
amazing? We'll find
We've
out. I don't
seen
know.
the picture of her with the banana hanging out her mouth, you know?
Oh my god. I want it printed. I want it wall size. It's
Yes.
actually hot as hell.
If
I'm
I
into-
ever got a tattoo, that's what I would get.
Meri with her banana.
Mary with a or with a banana
Banana.
hanging out her mouth for sure. I
Oh
think
my
that would
God.
be perfect. Also, I mean, as somebody who frequents a Costco, I did appreciate seeing Meri wearing her Puma Costco socks. It's like an 800 pack of Puma socks. And
I have them. I think I wore them like last week. They probably should on this.
yeah, and I was like, wow, Meri, I love that for you. Like, this is what I love about Sister Wives is this show has been on 18 seasons. This is the like longest running show after Grey's Anatomy. And it's like, we are still so normal. below normal, honestly. I honestly feel like when I'm with them, I'm pulling out my pocketbook to find my coupon. You know,
I feel like if we went to lunch, like we would have to pay, and it's like you guys are the ones on TV,
and it's like we're going to Applebee's. You know, and no offense, I know that you are a chain restaurant connoisseur, but I feel like we're going to Applebee's.
I don't think they have money.
No,
I don't understand why they don't have money. But then I heard last week when you guys were talking about the new house.
Yeah.
So where did that money? Like, where is the money?
I think that the money is with Kody and Robyn. I think they've stolen it from everyone else.
Yeah,
apparently
they
I don't
siphoned
know.
it or something. I don't know how it works, but it's like we saw Janelle
But
living.
even still, I mean, 18 seasons, that's a long time on TV a $2 million house is expensive, but
even the 1,000-pound sisters seem to be living better than these fuckers.
Yeah,
and they're like the
number
*1 show.
Yeah, you'd think that they'd be buying they'd all be in like $5 million houses by
Janelle
now. It's been on for so
lives
long.
In Squalor. It's crazy.
Yeah.
She's got like a used couch. It's too big for the space. There's dogs everywhere.
I don't know if you can tell right now, but our background is actually a drawing of Janelle's apartment and what a fucking mess it is. It's like there's roaches everywhere, and she's just like, well, listen,
She's had the same couch since like Lehigh.
It's so bad. Yeah.
She's like, it's not worth spending my money on new things, but it's like, but where's the money?
But then it's like we go to Meri's house and she has 12 empty bedrooms.
Yeah.
Meri just echoes when she talks to herself in her home. It's so like, what do you need such a big space for?
I'm so upset about her getting rid of her.
I also have to say, and this is really mean, and it's no shade to Nothing Bundt Cakes, because I love me a Nothing Bundt Cake. But
funny, yeah.
When they brought the Nothing Bundt Cakes, I felt like a Nothing Bundt Cake from the absolute best friends in the entire world, they don't love you. You know, they didn't go overboard to make you a cake. They just let the ladies at Nothing Bundt Cake handle it. And I thought, and they also got a bunch of mini ones because I'm like, they don't know which one she wanted. They didn't know her flavor.
Flavor is.
They didn't know her flavor. So they were like, I think it's this, but let's get these in case.
Yeah, no, I actually love a Nothing Bundt Cake, but I can definitely see Jen panicking on the way. She's like, we're on camera today. What are we going to do? We have to bring something for the carriage meal. Did they put leaves on the big one? There was some sort of like topper.
Yes, beautiful fake flower situation.
It was, and I can tell you right now, Meri loves a carrot cake. I just know it to be true.
Oh,
that's her favorite.
She's kind of like carrot cake tone, doesn't she?
She likes anything tan.
Yeah. Now let's get to the big finale here, guys. We're over at Josephine's, and I mean, I have a raging boner for this sit down. Like, this is the I honestly,
this is what I've been waiting for 18 seasons.
This is something that, as you know, we saw Janelle and Kody scream at each other in her squalor apartment, but like, sir, for some reason, this one hits even better. Like, it's good.
I love that Kody walks in with his work gloves, of course.
Yes.
And is like, oh, intimate. He thinks
this is
it. He's like, Janelle asked me on a date. I can't wait to get back with her. I'm like, she's here to break it up with you.
Sir, you're not reading the fucking room right now.
And she's going to read him to filth every single time with just like straight facts and logic. Like, he can't get away from her, like, change the narrative, because the way that she delivers like information is so concise and clear, this conversation, that he's just like baffled. He's like so confused. But he's like, even when he was talking about like potentially getting back together, and she said the simple line like, I don't know if it was in the confessional or not, but she's like, you haven't been to my house in 2 years. Like, how is this not clicking with him? Like, there is no reconciliation, the word they use every 20 seconds on the dot on this show.
Yeah. Culpable, reconciliation, and this time sacred cow.
I also love that she knows how to work him. Like, the way she's like, you know, I think you're awesome. You have a little hook, but like, we can't even exist in the same world, Kody.
I love when
he's
like,
she's like, you have to treat him like, you got to give him a little bit of compliments to get what you want. Like, she knows how to work.
I love that she was like, you know, Kody, you do have great things about you, but it's I hate to say it, but you're self-absorbed and selfish. And he's like, well, just the past 2 years. She's like, honestly, I think forever. I think you've always been this way. Yeah, sorry.
You could tell he was like, Did she just say
And
that?
the thing I always
was
love about
He was too
Janelle,
busy squeezing his lemon.
Janelle's a fucking bitch, but she never comes across like one. And that's a talent I wish I had. Because I am a bitch, but
because
I
she
always...
doesn't get emotional.
Yes.
Like Christine
She
gets too
doesn't.
emotional that Cody's just like, oh, she's like an emotional woman. Where Janelle, he's just like, how do I even respond to that? Like, she just literally called me selfish, but like glazed over it.
For anyone who didn't watch the episode, I need to set the scene. So we are in Josephine's attic. It looks just like you're imagining, like you're going to your grandma's house. It's
One
hot
small
up there.
table.
You know it's hot,
It's hot.
up there.
It's baking.
But Janelle orders herself a burger. Okay. Cody gets an omelet paired with a red wine. In what fucking world are you putting an omelet with a wine? Listen, I've never had alcohol in my life, but I know you don't fucking do that. I know you
That's
don't put
why him and
omelet
Robyn are
with
perfect for
wine.
each other. Their first date or whatever, she got the chimichanga and hot chocolate.
Oh.
Now he's getting an omelet and wine.
I just don't understand. Like, and I looked at Janelle's and I was like, oh, it's not breakfast. He's not having a breakfast wine. You know, we're at dinner time, and he ordered an omelet, which I'm sure they don't even offer breakfast all day. But he was like, can you cook me up an omelet? And then he's like, get me a fucking red wine as well.
Mm-hmm. And a warm water with a lot of lemon.
You sick motherfucker. Like, of all the things you've ever done, to see you sit there
this
and
just proves
order
he's a psychopath.
an omelet with wine, I've never been more disgusted in my entire life. I was more
disgusted when the cameraman caught him with that little egg dropping out of his mouth. It was a split second. I said, that was shady. And then also, did you clock Janelle's carrots on her plate?
No.
Oxidized, and then when the carrots get like white, like that white. I'm like, what sick veggie burger bullshit with this great carrot and his omelet in this attic restaurant? Where are we? This is like worse than the carriage attic of the carriage house. Like, this is crazy.
And this is like a fancy restaurant, but I don't know
I don't
why.
see it.
It definitely was a veggie burger, right? It looked different than a regular burger, but it was a burger.
Can you imagine? Like, I would think back in the day, it was so stressful to get a job at Sonic because you had to learn to roller skate. But like at Josephine's, you have to learn to go up a narrow stairway
to an
with
attic.
food in your hands and not drop any of it. And like, you also, just like Meri's, you're having to hang over the side because you're like, I'm going to hit my head. That's some training.
You could tell it was tense because before Janelle goes down the staircase at the end, she braces herself. She's like, figure out how to maneuver around the corner. And I was like, this is not OSHA. We shouldn't be filming up here.
I also was just like,
she's like, don't film me. I got to walk down 1 foot at a time.
She does a sidestep.
It was a sidestep.
Full hands on the railing.
There's only one railing. The other side's a wall.
Oh, she's doing the wall. She's grabbing both sides of the railing.
But this is what's so, like, I don't understand how they're not moving around. There's nothing going on. They are in their exact spots.
And the camera's like,
the camera is all over the place. I felt seasick, and I've never had motion sickness before, but it was, I don't know what was happening, but it was a lot for nothing.
Well, they were in shock listening to Janelle speak to Cody.
They were laughing. They were laughing.
They're trying to silently laugh.
Maybe the waiter was trying to sneak past them. And they're like, oh, shit. You know, it's a tight space up there. So we're meeting, though, because not to have a date, Cody, not to reconcile, but instead to figure out what's going on with Coyote Pass. And Janelle immediately is like down to business. And Cody's like, oh, we still have months to go. And she's like, we have 3.5 months. We have that balloon payment coming. We got to figure it out. Like, Janelle's like, we are going to lose everything if we don't pay this off. And then Cody's like, I don't feel like doing her any favors. It's not a favor to her. It's all your guys' fucking money, you idiot.
Yeah, but he would like lose that money just so that Janelle didn't have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, I'm fine.
Do you have any insight of what is this contract and why is it so bad? Like, what is the balloon payment? Like,
so the Browns love to get something they can't afford.
They
so
love
what
a
they
balloon
do
payment.
is they do something like the same thing happened in Vegas. They had these small payments, and then after 5 years, they had to do a balloon payment on it, and they did the same thing
which
with
is why
Coyote
they
Pass.
moved from Vegas.
Yes. They just loved, and again, I don't
So I think
know.
the contract was they put down a certain amount, but by like a certain time frame, if they didn't come up with the full thing, they lost everything they put into it at the beginning, which is really stupid. So she's like, we're going to lose all the money we put into it if we don't pay it off.
And let's not forget, Janelle loves to credit herself as being a smart woman.
I know.
But
yeah, but you can't talk Kody out of things.
Is
like the second he has his eye on something, he's going to do it.
I just feel like Janelle is smart with her surroundings.
She's smarter than the rest of them, but
if we bring Janelle just to everyday America, I think she's falling behind. I don't know if she's hitting her goals.
If we go back in time to when they were just looking at Coyote Pass and the angels were singing, I just feel like that all four of them were on, all five of them technically were all on like such different pages that I feel like Janelle couldn't even get her point across for like, was this a good deal or not? Like everyone wasn't sure if this was a good move. So I feel like normally Janelle would be smarter to not do this, but I think her hands were tied against like her back at this point. I mean, like she couldn't do anything.
And maybe she likes her hands tied behind her back. We don't know if she's a sex vixen or not. Like we don't know. Is she into BDSM or not?
She likes a piece of meat.
Janelle's like, Kody, I was thinking about it. What if you buy me out?
That's probably why she got a veggie burger. She's not even eating meat anymore because Kody thinks he's a piece of meat.
She's like, I don't need meat.
She's like, I'm a vegetarian now, Kody. I don't need your meat.
But Cody's like, whoa. You're skipping to the end. What about us? What about us, Janelle? I thought, are we gonna...
I think we could work this out.
I think we could work this out. And she's like, but then we cut to him in the confession. He's like, this is a bullshit pipe dream for both of us. We're not getting back together. I'm like, and she said, I think this is a diversion. I'm like, this is absolutely a diversion. He's like,
he's trying to sweet talk her into something to like get her to forget about the land. He's so crazy.
I think
he is so crazy. And he doesn't trust her. It's very evident in this like scene. Like it's like I think they know too much about each other at this point. So they can't even have like honest conversations because I think they're both trying to play each other here. Like she's sweet talking him, he's doing these kind of like big swings. It's a weird conversation.
I feel like it's because at one point he says, he's like, I think Janelle thinks I would do anything to screw her over. So she's doing that to me. And I'm like, Kody, you would do any. Look at this woman's life. She's been on a show for 18 seasons.
She lived in college student housing
with roaches everywhere. She had to make her lasagna in the kitchen sink. All right. That's not right. She's not supposed to be making a lasagna in the kitchen sink. And it's just like, that's where she ended up. It's a lot. It's a fucking lot.
She's just protecting her. She's trying to protect herself at this point. Yeah. And he's like, you're screwing me over, Janelle. It's like,
oh, yeah.
He's got to stop.
And then he's like, I don't know. For me and Janelle to get back together, there would have to be an exchange of power, which I'm not willing to do because I hold the power. And I was like, you just told us like 2 episodes you didn't believe in
any wives having power.
No.
What is the word?
A tough word.
He says it constantly. Patriarchy.
Yes. Patriarchy. And now you're like, I hold all the power. What do you think patriarchy is, Kody? I think that's the same thing. I think that's the same thing. But he's like, I can't give her the power. Absolutely not. No, thank you. Not
and she's like, I just want to be equal. I don't need the power. I just want to be on the same playing field. He's like, absolutely not.
Next thing you know, you're going to want to vote. God damn it, Janelle.
I love that he's like, so like, what are you thinking? You want to build on the property? You want the money? Because she's like, will you buy me out? And he's like, what would you rather have? I mean, you build there. I think you're calling me every week. I'm like, why? She hasn't called you in 2 years. Why is she calling you every week when you?
But that's where Janelle loses me because she's like, yeah, I do. I might have to call you because I don't know if I could do it on my own. I'm like, Janelle,
because she's trying to sweet talk him. I think she knows.
Yeah,
I
also,
think.
What is she calling about? What do we need help with?
Well, so here's the thing. The reason that Kody and Robyn are moving from their old house, they say, is because the winters up there are really tough out where they live. It's really tough to deal with the winter.
Which just cements the fact that they won't build on Coyote Pass if they're moving from the area anyways.
Never in a million.
But I like that he's like, actually, I wish Janelle would build out there because then it'd set me free and I would leave. He's like, if she's anywhere in a 50-foot radius of me,
I've never seen someone contradict themselves more. Yes. He's like, Janelle, what about us? And then he's like, fuck that bitch. Christine and I are in a great place. Fuck that bitch. When Kody sits there and says to Janelle, I'm never going to say another bad thing about Meri again. Like, we have watched you say
for next week.
horrible thing after horrible thing. I'm like, the only reason you're being friends with Meri is because she didn't get accepted into the other wives club. And she's like, well, I guess I'll hang out with you, Kody.
She doesn't have anyone to gossip with is the problem.
Yeah, it's like, And then he's like, oh, I think Janelle, I could make this work. Oh, this is a pipe dream. The only reason I want to get with Janelle is so my kids will forgive me. And again, being their child, sitting there watching this and being like, my dad only wants to get back with my mom to just kind of appease us. Like, fuck you. No, that's not, like, he can't see it for what it really is.
No, he's delusional. That's the only word
it's
for it.
got to be so crazy existing in this like world as like one of the kids and then having to watch all this back and feeling so validated in the reasons why you're so upset with your father. Because it's like, you already think he's an asshole. But the way he talks about them, like, I don't know if they'll ever be a family again. I don't know if I was them, I could never forgive him for this kind of stuff.
No, we always say, we're like, as much as we like to watch the show and make fun of it, like, I hope the kids are not watching it because he's so mean.
We also watch the show as though it's a sitcom. It's not, these aren't real people,
It's too sad to think about it being real.
Yes, if you get too in your feelings about this and you're like, oh, these are like real people, it's like, oh, this is awful. But it's they're just characters.
More real than McKelty, okay? That's a real person.
So then Janelle's like, Kody, how do you expect us to be together when you got that fucking sacred cow up at her castle, Robyn? And he's like, we're not going there. We're not going there. Don't you do it.
And she's like, see, I can't even talk about her. He's like, I'm not saying that.
You can talk about your feelings. You just can't say anything about how you feel about Robyn and the way that me and Robyn are together or treat you. You can talk about, do you want to talk about how bad Christine is? I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, you would love that.
I'd love to hear it.
She didn't even come in with a real threatening statement. I kind of felt like she was being a little fair. And he at some point needs to be able to talk about this publicly. He shuts it down every single time. Like, when are we going to get an honest conversation about the reasons why we have these problems with Robyn?
And then to find out that on Janelle's birthday, they're driving and Kody starts yelling at her because he's like, you were mean to Robyn. And Janelle's like, how did Kody know about this conversation? I didn't tell him, but me and Robyn had a sit down and I was like, please, dear God, Robyn, do not drain us of everything we have to get your fucking house. Please. We have finite resources here. Please, Robyn. And she's like, okay, I guess I won't. And then she went to Kody and was like, Janelle was really mean to me.
Buy the house, Kody.
Buy the fucking house. And then get all the fucking artwork so we can put it all over the place.
Insane.
She's like, I didn't tattle.
I didn't tattle.
I just said me and Janelle agree. We shouldn't get this. I'm like, you're such a liar.
Yes. And that's where, when you say you feel bad for Robyn, I say, no, she's smarter than, yes, is she stupid? Absolutely. Did she get past the 8th grade? No. But like, in these moments, she does know how to manipulate. Mm-hmm. She got it from her fucking mom, Alice, and Alice's mustache.
All right. Leave Alice out of this. No. I'm confused because it's like, because we don't know how that exchange happened. It's so in my mind, I'm always like, wait, was it just her kind of just relaying information to Kody, then Kody blowing up and making it like an attack on the other wives? Or was it Robyn being vindictive? I feel like all these cases, there's never a camera crew there. You know what I mean? It's always just like what we think's happening. So I try to give her the benefit of the doubt. But in this situation, you're right. Like, if she was saying it in that kind of way, that's just an example of her being a snake. But we don't know. We never really know with her.
You're right. The camera crew's never around.
No, they're just like, we'll film it during confessionals. We'll talk about what happened. Did you do the survey that TLC sent out about sister wives?
No, what was the survey?
It was like basically like, hey, this show really sucks and everyone hates it. How can we fix it? Even though we have great viewership.
It had you like even rank your sister wives in order.
And I just said every single time, they need to be on the couches together again, because I'm sick of talking behind each other's back. You need to say it here, say it now, say it to my fucking face.
They need a Full Housewives reunion.
Oh, fuck.
They do. And also, like, would it kill us to have an excursion again? Like, can we make it a little light? Like, we haven't
gone on a girls' trip forever.
No, I don't think we're gonna go.
I'd love a family trip though. Like, what I would give to have them have another flat tire.
I would just love to have all of them in the house, and we bring David along and Cody's there. It's everyone in one house together. Cameras are rolling 24/7, Big Brother style. And I would pay $1,000 to get to view that for like even 48 hours.
Yeah, I would too.
It'd be a huge money grab.
I think I just need it to be a little lighter. I like the fun. You know what I mean? Like even with the Japanese Sundays, like those parts I think to me are like the comedy in the show. And I just think we're leaning too much into like the repeat confessionals. But like you said, like we're gonna keep watching. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
for sure. We're not going anywhere.
Well, I'm glad you guys submitted that survey and spoke on behalf of the greater public. Like you're doing your job and you're advocating for us. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, you know what? It's the thing. We have an American blessing to do, and that's what we had to do. It's much like jury duty, voting. You have to do what you have to do. How did you feel when Kody sits there and says that Janelle has a card, says victim on it, and she likes to play it? I think of all of the people on this family, like who's the least victim-y? It's Janelle. Like Cody's number 1, Robyn's number 1.5, and then probably Meri, Christine, then Janelle.
Also, he's the victim to be like, when he was like, why didn't Maddie tell me she's having another baby? Why am I? And it's like, Janelle's like, you've never seen the 3-year-old. Like, why would she tell you about her other kids?
You didn't go there when EVK got her leg cut off. Like, you know, that's a big thing for someone. You couldn't go to Jezebel's surgery. You couldn't go to EVK's amputation, but you want her to tell you that she's pregnant. Like, fuck you.
And don't forget that he got on Janelle about taking a vacation during COVID when she went to go help her recover.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and then I love every time that too, like when Janelle just answers the question like so like correctly, he always seems shocked by the response. He's like, you haven't seen them in years. He's like, I'm like, you didn't think about maybe that's the reason why they don't talk to you? Like, be a better grandparent? Like, he just doesn't understand still to this day what he's doing wrong in these relationships.
We've been together for literally forever, so we've never really experienced like a bad breakup. But can you imagine having a breakup and you're talking to this person, you're like, you know, I think that, can we just try again? I think we could do this. And they say to you, we would have to be 2 completely different people to make it work.
What a fun way to say never.
Or like that she's
so
like,
clever.
honey, we don't even exist in the same universe.
Yes. And then he's like, all right, so what are you saying? You want the property or the cash? Like, I want the fucking cash, Kody. I'm
gonna move to where Maddie lives and actually see my grandkids. Thank you very much. Thank you. I love that after this whole thing was over, she was like, I think I better lawyer up.
Yeah.
And she should. And she is. But
he was so pissed when he found out that she had talked to a lawyer.
Well, and the one that he talked to originally.
Yes.
She's like, so I talked to that guy we originally talked to. He's like,
whoa.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I think that guy's a little screwy Louie because I think he's going to say you are entitled to some money. So let's talk to someone else. I got a guy. He also owns an auto body shop. We can talk to him about this. I think he would have good stuff to say. So, and then he sits there and he says, I want to get back with Janelle. I want to make this work. But then he says he could never forgive her because he made an effort for years to love her. And how did she give back to him? Betrayal. She went with Christine. She was nice to Christine. She supported Christine. And that is the ultimate betrayal.
He's so mad that they have a little girl gang.
What a fine line to fucking walk with Kody between like loyalty and betrayal, because it's like one little thing. You laugh about Kody tripping, the ultimate fucking betrayal. The ultimate betrayal. Cody's car dies and you're like, oh, of course your car died. Ultimate betrayal. It doesn't matter. It's an ultimate betrayal.
Was it always like this? I don't
know.
know.
Like something has happened to him.
He's like so suspicious of everyone's behavior. Like everyone's out to get him, which kind of they are right now. But I don't remember him ever being this like psychotic and like
he's
neurotic.
Like paranoid. There's something really wrong. A lot of people have said maybe he's like overusing the testosterone or something.
Oh, maybe. Honestly,
he's just a complete like if you go back, you're like he was kind of like he's always been an attention whore,
right?
And like a little selfish, but like he was light and fun and like he'd make people laugh and he was friendly with the kids. Like something's happened.
I don't know if, well, so here's the thing. It was discovered that in their current house in Flagstaff, and I've been speculating this for a long time with Robyn, they did find mold. And so is the mold to blame for Kody's brain change? Is that what happened with Robyn? Like, she's so tired all the time. You know, like, is it the mold? And I do wonder, like, we got to Flagstaff and something changed in this man. And it started, you know when it started? When he screamed it truly about riding the bicycle. That was where it was like, oh, it's all downhill from
He
here.
got one taste of being mean to those kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
and that felt like a testosterone thing right there.
Mhm.
Like that, like kind of manic. But I like the idea of blaming it on black molds. I'm gonna start using that in my everyday life. I'm like, I think I had a bout of mold and
Mhm.
losing it a bit. Sorry about that.
I think so. And it's like, and what's so crazy is around that time that he's screaming at Truly for not knowing how to ride a bike. He carries fucking Aurora's 18-year-old ass up the stairs because she's having the anxiety. Oh God.
Which she probably also got from the black mold.
God.
I mean, they didn't live in
How
the
do you
house
feel
yet.
about Robyn's kids? They don't make an appearance this episode, but I fucking hate those kids so much.
Yeah, Dayton. I forgot about him because he's
Right.
Yeah,
super
we like
in the
Dayton, but
RV.
that's it.
He's out. But I feel like Aurora and what's the other one's name?
Brianna.
Aurora and Brianna, I feel like they got the shit end of the stick out of anybody in this family. Nobody talks to them. And I did feel like they had a relationship with those kids, but they're just mini Robins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not even seeing anyone else's side. But if I was them, you have to side and kind of just take your mom's like position here, because if they don't, no one else is going to take them on. You know what I mean? So,
And also, they won't have anywhere to live, you know? Cody will kick
and
him
they're gonna
out.
live there forever. They're going to.
Oh, I don't understand. Cody's
their new house
boys,
has a guest house for them to live
Yeah.
in, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Cody's boys got kicked out like 18, be a fucking man, get out on your own. And then it's like Awoa is now, I think she's 47 years old and she's still at home. And it's like, she's not going anywhere. And she's got her fucking like guitar that she plays. And like, she is a,
I don't think she goes like anywhere besides there.
no, I think her and her mom do love to go to Kohl's together. I think
they're
they're
like Sunday trip.
yes, a Sunday trip to Kohl's, maybe a Hobby Lobby, a Michael's, but otherwise, Awoa doesn't do shit, and she's so fucking weird.
Yeah, and they're all just I don't know, like so timid, and like we need to grow up at some point. We're voting age. We're adults now. They're a weird crew, but they've always were a little off, and I always felt bad for them. But you know what? They're still weird, so fuck them.
Yeah,
Grow
fuck
up,
them.
Get a life.
I would love
See, they're like the less animated version of Christine. Like they're gonna be kids forever.
Yes.
But like at least Christine is like peppy. You know?
It's almost like, here's the thing. When you bully Christine, it feels a little good. You know, you're like, I love to bully Christine. It's because she gives it to me. But when you bully Awoa and them, it's like, it's almost pathetic. It's like, I don't even want to waste my time bullying you. You know?
Yeah, because they can't even give anything back.
They won't
They're like
stand up for
simply
themselves.
crying in every confessional, and all they're doing is just like moping around the house. Like they're going through it. They're having to deal with the repercussions of all of this. So I feel bad for them. I pity them a little bit. Oh, guys.
We end the episode with Janelle saying, maybe it's time for me to lawyer up. And then as we're walking out, before we go down the stairs, Cody says to her, tell Savannah I love her. Call her your fucking self. It's been, Janelle said like he hasn't talked to her yet this year.
Yeah.
Call her your fucking self and say I love you. Justice for Savannah, because she will forgive that man time and time again because she knows he's a fucking loser, but she lets the bar be so low for him. And
like Janelle has said, she's like, she just knows how he is. She doesn't really care anymore.
Savannah's the forgotten child of the family because it's like, you know, she was the baby, but then Truly came along, aka Creature Brown. And then it's like Savannah just got lost in the shuffle. And my heart always goes out to Savannah. I feel so bad for that girl. And then for him to sit there and say, tell her I love her.
Yeah, and it's like you also have like 6 kids with Janelle. So it's like it's just an interesting choice to be like the one that might like me again. It's like it's his favorite because she's the only one that talks to him from that side. So
right.
Yeah.
And sad. Yeah, and Savannah, she is the forgotten one. Like episode 1, she's rolling around the backyard in the leaves, and I don't remember her for another 7 seasons. Like,
yeah,
it was in the show. It was sad.
Zachariah, this has been the greatest blessing to have you, our sacred cow, on the show. People have been wanting you to come on here forever. So you have a tour coming up, the Strip Mall Tease Tour. Tell us about this.
Yeah, I'm starting next week. I'm doing like 5 shows next week, which is like East Coast, Philly, New York, and then I'm doing Midwest, like Minnesota, Chicago, in Detroit. But then in February, there'll be more dates for a more 12-city nationwide tour. So a lot more there. There is some Sister Wives jokes in there because I just can't stop myself. So it's fun. It's characters. It's live performance. It's everything I do online kind of brought to life in a bigger, crazier form. So I'm super excited to get on the road.
Are you coming to Arizona by chance?
Yeah.
Phoenix. I am coming to Phoenix.
Okay.
Oh, we'll be there then. And if you want to go to Salsa Brava with us after, we'll take you.
Well, that's a 2-hour drive.
We'll meet him there.
Connecting here. We got to figure this out. I love it.
Will your show have any nudity from you? Like, can people, I just want people to know what to expect.
It is full balls for an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, just nuts out swinging. So there is a lot of nudity there.
Do you keep the penis covered, right? Like balls out, penis covered. Okay. Good.
Yeah, it's a picture of Meri with the banana over my penis and swinging. So that's what it is. It's a real treat.
People can also find you on your podcast, Camp Counselors Podcast.
Yeah.
That is, you guys are so fucking funny on there. And I love that it's like, it's not this where you're just fucking awful, miserable human beings. Like it's got lightness to it, you know?
We try, but it's fun because I have to always remember to be light on that show. And then I get to come here and just really be a wretched son of a bitch. You know what I mean? This is a switch up. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. You know, we like to flip flop around.
Tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah. You can Camp Counselors Podcast, Zachariah Porter on Instagram, ZZ Zachariah on TikTok. All of the socials, they're all pretty connected. So yeah, I appreciate it. And this has been so fun to talk to people who love the show as much as I do. I love this show. Keep doing what you're doing because there is an audience for it and we're obsessed with the shit talking.
Now, do you know this? You don't know this, but you remember old Sister Wives, Cody would drive around in that fucking white Lexus?
Of course.
I own Cody Brown's white Lexus. When they were loading it up in that trailer and stuff, I bought it. I own it. It's in my driveway. I drive it around the second. So
also while you're in Phoenix, if you want to get a spin, if you want to take it for a spin.
And the second you get in it, immediately you hate women. You're just like, fuck women. Hell yeah. Why are women voting? Why are women wanting to get paid the same? Fuck them. It's so cool.
When I come to Phoenix, we need a whole day together before the show. Okay. I need to drive around in that Lexus with you. Was that on like an auction website?
It was on Facebook
Marketplace. And at the very end, it said, P.S. This car used to be owned by a celebrity.
Yeah. One of our listeners found it while looking for like a car and was like, I think this is the one. And we were like,
it's the greatest $5,000 I have ever spent.
It is like exactly what you said. They are kind of celebrities 18 seasons in, but they're still selling things on Facebook Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
They are the people's princesses. They really are.
They didn't clean a fucking thing out of it. So it's a treasure trove, which is
it became disgusting.
I mean, there's like so much good shit in there. And it's just like, oh, I love this. Bank receipts, all sorts of shit. But yeah, so guys, go see Zachariah. He's amazing. Go follow him everywhere. If you guys enjoyed this episode and you're like, hey, I feel like I'm even a bigger piece of shit. Like I have no moral compass. Go join us on Patreon, patreon.com/sisterwivestalk. Leave us a 5-star review. Nothing else. Mm-hmm. We do not look to improve ourselves. We're not looking to worthy up. As Meri says, we just want you to say nice things about us and like feed our ego, much like Cody Brown. Nothing else. Do not say anything mean. If you're watching on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. And then again, say nice things. You could say that I'm like hot. Someone last week said, is it just me or is Ace looking hot? And I was like, fuck yes.
I'm a piece of meat.
Fuck yes. It went straight to my head. So thank you so much, Zachariah. We love you. This has been so much fun.
We appreciate you talking shit with us.
You're our first guest, possibly our last guest, but I fucking love you. So,
but we'll have you again.
Thank you guys. Splish splash. We're all trash. Goodbye.